medyo may taas bugas, pero mahal sa kayo mag-diet eh. Tinunanay lang. Char. Mahal tayo mag-diet. Okay? Mag-discuss na karon og mga kuan. Char. Welcome back to my YT channel. This is again Bisayang Dako, your YouTube content creator, Sotero. I am a singer, eternal voice. This is again about health biochemistry. Okay? It's very clear. Again, health biochemistry. It involves biological and chemical substances in relation to our health, because health is wealth, prevention is better than cure. Okay? Like that. So that's always our motto, right? Pempas agasa. Wow. Wow. Okay, ganun siya. Taste buds. My taste buds doesn't require sugar anymore, something like that. Nakakaloka. Guys, I am 120/85. My diastolic increases for about 5. Okay, diastolic. The movement of the red blood cells in your bloodstream, and it will be measured through the device, up and down, through your pulse, P-U-L-S-E. Diba? So it could determine your heart rate, ganun. Ganon. Okay. Now, since we are always talking about, lipid, we need to understand what is lipid all about. Because this is very common, right? And we need to know that lipid is a sort of a fat. So, meaning 80 to 90%, those are fats really, okay? Like that. And take note, guys, lipid is very important also in the formulation of multivitamins, vitamins, food supplements, like that. In order to improve your appetite before eating, there are also multivitamins will do the function to do that. Okay? And then it will collaborate. It will, it will be helping the hormones to have a better coordination and communication with each other. Then, it's gonna be like this. I have to eat like this because I have a good appetite in this particular type of taste. Be careful also, because if the certain ingredient or component, let's say you have a hormone like this, example, you have a hormone of melatonin hormone, you have a very high melatonin hormone, and then of course sometimes if over, you need to reduce that hormone, right? So because the more you have high melatonin level, it's okay because you can sleep easily, okay? But sometimes you should balance your hormone to another hormone also. For example, you have the serotonin hormone, like that, endorphin, adrenaline, something like that. So if you're craving for, sweety foods or sugary foods or sweets, then it could either triggering your adrenaline gland. So the hormone secreted in the adrenaline gland is the adrenaline hormone. So you have a very high adrenaline, then it will react also to other substances there, and then it gives signals to your brain, and the hormone, it will act as a messenger to those substances inside our body, and then your brain, you eat this, no, don't eat that, eat this, eat that. There will be a communication through your neurons, neurons, in the brain cells, something like that. So if you think that's already enough, then it's already enough supposedly, but sometimes you cannot control, right? That's the time we need knowledge, because sometimes we cannot control. Okay, so that's the area there. Actually, that is not bad. Okay, when it will become more than what is required, that will become bad. Okay, because anything that is too much is always bad in anything. You got a point. Something like that. Now, we talk about lipid. Okay, L-I-P-I-D. L-I-P-I-D. Litolipid. Not litolapid. a very popular actor and action star in the Philippines, somewhere in 1970s, 80s to 90s, right? That is Little Lapid, but this is Lipid. Nakakaloka. Little Lipid daw. Okay, this is Lipid. Okay, lipid composed of, again, let's do a flow chart to understand further, okay, to break down, oh, what are the components of this, like that, to satisfy the questions in our minds. Then we do a lot of flow charts. If we talk about the physical chemical separation process or AD processes, we need to have a physical processes unit by unit. But this is not related to the plant physical processes or chemical process, related to the processes inside our body. Okay, so this is special, unique, okay, because this can save our lives in the future. Okay, so life is not all about money. Okay, so life is all about health. Of course, you need to be happy with good health to your family, so you can stay longer with your family as we grow older, right? We can bond to them. We will be happy and enjoying to their company when we are going back to our country of origin, something like that. So it's gonna be, really protecting and caring our own health. And this topic, no need to educate. This is inherent, meaning instinct. Nobody will teach you to do this except yourself. And nobody can save your life except yourself also. Okay, so that's why I'm telling you, health is wealth, prevention is better than cure. A billion of times prior to the starting point of my vlogging and live streaming. Going back to lipids. So, lipid composed of, again and again, walang katapusang fatty acids. Okay? And then we have also here, the other one is the, okay here, glycerides. Okay, glycerides, ganun siya. Okay? So, glycerides composed of neutral glycerides, meaning not reactive because that's neutral under normal circumstance. So, neutral glycerides. Okay? And we have also the phosphoglycerides. Okay. And here your fatty acids composed, again, I already discussed this a while ago comprehensively. These are sat, unsat, and trans. Meaning to say saturated fats, unsaturated fats, and trans fatty acids. Okay? Actually, we have also the cis fats, CIS. The trans and cis are just an orientation of the unsaturated fats. It is just happening that the cis is good and the trans is bad to our health. Okay, because trans will not move. Okay, steady. So if your fats are steady and compact, then the bloodstream cannot go directly, smoothly. Okay, if the fats are being bonded together, it cannot escape, cannot go in and outside freely. Common sense, right? So this is not good, the trans fats. Okay, it's gonna be like ganon, straight lang siya. So how can the fluids will pass there, the acids, it will be blocked. Okay? So it's not good for the trans fats. Okay? So, but then again, we need to discuss a little bit. Okay, now we go to the glycerides. Okay, now we need to have the formulation first to understand further, huh? Okay. So, lipid is really a general term. Okay, general term referring to this, glycerides and fatty acids. We cannot say, Sir Sotero, what is the formula of lipid? You cannot say like that because lipid is a general term. Okay, it's not specific. You can only have the specific chemical formula or structural formula if you are referring to a compound, a substance that is specific to consider. If it is too general, you cannot do that. For example, crude oil. You cannot have a specific formula for a crude oil unless you will go to different chemical and separation processes. It's either you're gonna heat that to a 1000 degrees Celsius and above by thermal pyrolysis, thermal cracking or catalytic cracking, or any other processes that involves higher temperature. Because normally, if we try to decompose and break down larger molecules to smaller molecules, it's gonna be applying high temperature, changing the modes of temperature, because temperature has the highest influence that affects, okay, the form of the substance. Okay, it will alter the form of a substance. For example, if it is solid, it will become liquid and gas after that in the products. So temperature has the highest influence to affect your expression of your concentrations and the phases of your raw materials as well in the last stage of your process. Something like that. Okay, you get the point. Something like that. So it's just general term. No need to worry. Okay, there's a lot of, for example, we will say carbohydrates. That's a general term, right? So you cannot say, oh, C6H12O6. Since if we are agreeing with each other that we have the same common denominator, that we agreed that the carbohydrate starts with glucose, then that's the time we agreed during our discussion for the purpose of this conversation, only like that. But if we try to be specific, carbohydrates is very general term referring to all sugars, right? And the empirical formula is CH2O. And for the disaccharide is CnH2n minus 2, oxygen and minus 1, something like that. So you should be careful and using the terminology technically, especially if you are dealing with health science and medical science, okay, like that. So it depends also in the conversation, okay, because if you are normally dealing with common people also with different professions, then it will be okay. But if you're dealing with people also are the same with you, so that's the time you'll be extra careful, because both of you or all of you are very particular in the technical science information. Okay, for example, I am a licensed chemical engineer. I'm meeting with another licensed mechanical engineer or licensed, or not necessarily licensed, as long as graduates of engineering. So you should be, extra careful with. You should use terms technically precise and accurate. Okay, based on your leveling of education, something like that. You got a point. It's gonna be like that also. Okay, for the purpose of discussion, we need to use the technical information precisely correct and appropriate to avoid disputes and to avoid contesting the facts that are delivered to you guys, because it's related to science really, okay? So this is not opinionated, okay, nor a joke. A serious topic that to be considered to protect our health and to have prevention is better than cure. Ganun siya, di ba? Okay. Wait, akong coffee, mabugnaw na po di sa tabi. Okay. Ganon. Okay, wow, ang sarap. Okay, ganon. So, glyceride, ato na siyang putlon kasi yung blank sheet of paper. So, rasa, uy, kaloka. Magkuhan ko, mag-time check. Grabe, di ko makadag-vlog. Dugay mo man. Okay? So, this is the entire flowchart of a lipid family. Lipid is our one types of macromolecules, the same as nucleic acid, protein, carbohydrates. Actually, guys, there are 4 types of macromolecules in biochemistry. Okay, and we call this as biochemical substances. The general term will be biomolecules. Okay, when you mean of biomolecules, there are always chemical synthesis involved in that, synthesized together. Meaning, the process of biology and chemistry, understanding through its chemical formula, structural formula, and chemical reactions. Ganon. So we need to remember the 5 types of chemical reactions in chemistry, and we need to apply also the new topics for biology. Something like biological substances, okay? And after that, we need to determine the steps and the precautionary measures to avoid diseases. Through that, various substances could either be chemical or biological we intake inside our body. Okay, ganon siya. Okay, now I will try to erase this one. You already write this in a blank sheet of paper. Okay, I will erase. Okay, now we go to the glycerides first. What is the formula of the glyceride? Okay. Now, I will ask you a question. Is glyceride a sugar, carbohydrate, protein, or a nucleic acid, or an alcohol? The first thing to do, guys, if we encounter a formulation or, let us say, an ingredient of a particular syrup, tablet, capsule, medicine, or shall we say food supplements, vitamins, or whatever, we need to be particular on the name itself, the specific name itself, what's gonna be the molecular formula. Because it's in that that we could relate the chemical reactions, and after that it will produce diseases and sicknesses if you are having a more intake of that above the normal range of our health data that our doctor prescribed during our medical examination results, our physical examination results, especially if we're trying to apply work prior to that, then we have a record for our personal health data, something like that. So it's gonna be connecting the dots, okay? So we know that everybody deserves to be happy. Everybody deserves to do what they do in life, to be happy, to be satisfied, and to go with their friends. But we should not also forget the important healthy lifestyles, okay? Because in the near future, we will be suffering, okay? So the best thing to do is, at least now, we establish precautionary measures and proactive system to protect our health, to nurture our health, so that we will endure and we will sustain our life for at least 80 years old and above. Oh my gosh. Okay, under normal circumstance. Okay, unless there's an accidental will be happening to you, sana wag namang mangyari, di ba? Yung mga ganyan mga bagay-bagay, because we cannot predict also what God gave to us. Okay? He is the ruler for everything, even though you take care of your life, but then suddenly there's something wrong happening. Okay? So there's accidental situation that will be happening to you. So it's gonna be like that. But it's better to do this also if you really want to do. This is only a sharing of information. You may or you may not. Okay? You may or you may not. You may watch or you may not watch. This is not insisting to watch. But if you're watching, I'm very, very happy for that. Then you can also comment down below in the comment section, or you can subscribe my YT channel. Oh my gosh. And you can be able also to click the notification bell for some newest updates of I Am a Singer Eternal Voice. And you can also check my other uploaded videos and live streamings in my YT channel. Okay, I Am a Singer Eternal Voice. There's a dash, DESH after I Am a Singer dash Eternal Voice. Eternal Voice is only one word connecting eternal plus the voice Eternal Voice. There's no space, right? Okay, there's no spacing. Ganon. So that you can see my YT channel. It's in there. I need your support. Okay? Layo pa kayo kusang unawan. Oh my gosh. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, guys, ha? Okay? Like that. Okay, now. Glycerides, the formula of glycerides is gonna be like this. Okay? Glycerides composed of 3 carbon atoms. Remember that. For example, if I have glycerine, glycerol, what comes on your mind is 3 carbon atoms already. So put the carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3. Oh, diba? And then it is understood to be there's a double band in there. You could either choose in the carbon number 1, carbon number 2, carbon number 3, or you should start on the left. It doesn't matter for this time because this is only small carbon atoms, fewer carbon atoms, and this is not also really involving yet the acids, the fats, for now. For now lang siya. Okay? Now, so this one is gonna be like this. Double band. Let's say, i-consider na to for carbon number 3. Okay? Nakita niyo guys? Carbon number 3. Okay. So, double band oxygen. Okay, carbon has 4 atoms, 4 valence electrons in the outermost shell. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this, and then single band here, right? And then O, then we need to put here another here. Ganon. Now, there are 2 H here. And H, and COOH here. Hala. So there are 3 OH here. This is glycerides. Okay? 3 carbon atoms and 3 hydroxyl group and 1 double bond oxygen. Okay, these are glycerides. Okay, ganon. Okay. Now the outlet for other substances to react is in the OH part. If that is acidic, because OH plus H is the ion from the acidic. For example, you take phosphoric acid when you drink soft drinks. Because one of the components, one of the ingredients of soft drinks, cola, Pepsi, Coke, is diluted phosphoric acid. Right? Now, there's a hydrogen ion there. 3 atoms of hydrogen and 1 phosphate group. So the H here will react to the OH here in the corner of the glyceride. That's why also, when you keep on drinking soft drinks, you will become also fat later on because there's an avenue for the phosphoric acid to react to the OH hydroxyl group in the corner of the glycerides. Okay? Because glycerides is the fat inside our body. Okay? So we should limit drinking cola, soft drinks also if you don't want to become fat. Okay? Now, if you don't care, then it's okay. Okay? Because we don't have the same perspective in life. Okay? And then, we have the H corner here. The other H corner here will react also to hydroxyl group. Take note. Hydroxyl group. What substance in the planet Earth that contains hydroxyl group? So, it could be the basis, organic basis, and inorganic basis. Usually, the alcohol. Now, if you keep also on drinking alcohol, it will trigger your fats to become high because the corner also have H ion, right? So, for example, ethyl alcohol, there's an OH there. The OH hydroxyl group will also react in the H outlet of these glycerides. As I told you, glycerides is a fat inside our body. Then if you keep on drinking alcoholic beverages that contains ethyl alcohol or ethanol, bingo, you'll become also fat because of this concept of chemical reaction bonded together. That's why it's very necessary to understand the chemical reaction. You get the point? Normally, you will become fat unless you will do exercise and you will minimize the intake of your alcohols in your body. Or the same with or in complementary also of limiting and reducing your soft drinks intake in your body. Something like that. For the reasons that there are corners of OH hydroxyl group and H positive in the glyceride as an organic compound. That is a fat naturally inside our body. Something like that. And you should be careful. And that is glyceride. Okay? So, memorize, for example, if you're watching me right now, you are a first year college chemical engineering student or BS chemistry student, then it's about time to really understand different chemicals, compound, inorganic compound, and memorize, shall I say, memorize majority of the most common substances, and then little by little add a little bit complex, and then add a little bit more complex. Because we cannot assure our teachers and instructors could also teach us the formulation with regards to chemicals because there are billions of chemicals, okay, in the planet Earth. And it's impossible for them to teach you also. So we should not be dependent to them. Okay, they give us knowledge, then enhance our knowledge by using our resources. Okay, what we have resources in our home, in our school, then maximize your academic potential. If you love science and mathematics, then bingo, you can easily understand also, or not if you're really perplexed in your studies because you feel it's difficult, then you can refer different books in the library. Now, now students are very lucky. There are internet, social media, then you can learn a lot. There are YouTube. But in our times before, nothing. Okay? So we are only referring to the books, textbooks, reference, magazines, encyclopedias, something, chuba-chuchu. I think already have, but due to the technology, what do you call this one? Very late of the technology booming in our country. Okay, then others also have already the Europe, the US, but it's very late for us. For example, then Another reason also, we don't have enough money to buy mobile phones at the time, Android, like wherever. So we are dependent only of the traditional way of studying. Okay, traditional way. Meaning you go to the classroom instruction, write, memorize, write, and study like that. Remember everything like that. And then assignment, it's only like that. No referring to the social media that much. Though on internet already have before, but there's no such maximization of the www. World Wide Web. World Wide Web. Ganon. Diba? So, expected to be the students at this generation are more intelligent, shall I say, because they have so many resources. Okay? The technology are very, very, advanced compared to those old students before that we don't have really resources that enough for us to, to calibrate our intelligence. Oh my gosh. Okay, now going back. So this is glycerides. Okay, now. So I told you this is classified into two. Okay, the neutral glycerides. Okay, neutral. Okay. The word neutral is very important because it doesn't react that much to other substances because it undergoes neutralization reaction, right? Okay, so neutral glycerides. Okay, ganun siya. Okay, and we have also the phosphoglycerides. Okay. Phosphoglycerides, ganun siya. Okay. Now, neutral glycerides, guys, what is the example for this? What is the best example for this? Or shall we say the most important component and the large component of our main fat constituent inside our body are largely having this substance. And in fact, cholesterol is coming from this also. Okay? What is this? This is normally reflected in the medical examination result. This is triglycerides. Okay? TG. Okay, TG. We just have acronym TG, stands for triglycerides. Now, our general term is glyceride, and we put tri. Imagine it being trifold. Triglyceride is being trifold. Imagine it's being trifold. How? So this is more dangerous compared to the glycerides alone. Okay? So this is the formula, and this is triglycerides. So it will become more. Meaning, it is synthesized more and more and more because from smaller molecules or fewer molecules to be produced or combined to produce larger molecules, that is synthesis. The term synthesis refers to that in chemical reactions or combination reactions, like that combination reaction, synthesizing one molecule to another molecule, it will become a big molecule, something like that, okay? So this is glyceride. The triglyceride formula, what is that? Okay, so how can we obtain triglycerides? Of course, normally it's in the glycerides level of our system. The more we eat high carbs, fatty foods, junk foods, saturated fats, for example, fried chicken, buttered chicken, pizza pie, spaghetti, like that, okay, milk bread, okay, what else? Yellow rice, brown rice, like this, okay, then that could trigger a higher level of your glycerides, okay, ganon. Now it will become tri, so the more it will become big, the more it will become synthesized. So what is the formula of triglycerides? Wait, ako sa inyo na akong coffee para ma-activate akong brain cells. Char! Okay? Ganon siya. Ano siya mga reaction, chupa-chuchu. Okay. Ganon. Akong papasok ha. Okay. Now, ano to sa neutral glycerides? Neutral, atong i-abbreviate as NG. Neutral glycerides. Okay? The best example is this is the triglycerides of TG. Okay. Ganon. So, in this manner, how can you produce triglycerides, Sir Sotero? Okay, now, if you are taking science courses, you can remember your organic chemistry and general chemistry lecture 1 and 2. Okay? Oh my gosh. I forgot to use the microphone, right? Okay.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Test. Sound check. 1, 2, 3. Check. Sound check. 1, 2, 3. Brought to you by Power Alaska Mac. 96.3 W Rock. Ganun. Go back to our topic, neutral glycerides. Okay. So, ganun siya. Okay guys. Okay. Now, higher levels of triglycerides above 150 milligrams per deciliter triggers, okay, NAFL. Okay, and AFL. Just put D at the last D. NAFLD and AFLD. This is all about fat content, too much accumulation in your liver. Okay? So this is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, alcoholic fatty liver disease. Because your triglycerides are above 150 and we need to control this. One requirement is to cut off high carb food such as the white rice, yellow rice, as I told you over and over again. Okay, French fries, cheeseburger, hamburger, red meat, okay, oily foods, junk foods, something like that. Milk tea, ice cream, halo, chocolate, okay, and those food that produced by baked foods, cookies, gonna be like that also, the peanut butter also could trigger. Actually, these are good foods and delicious food and yummy foods at a normal range. What I am talking is above the normal range. Overconsumption, overdosage, and the level is above 150 milligrams deciliter. Let's agree. Because you will be angry with me that I'm telling you not to eat this food. I'm telling you, do not eat this in frequent. Okay? Just adjust it in moderation. I ate also last 2 days ago, I ate, the press 2. Press 2 talaga. Nakakaloka. Press 2, green color plastic packaging. O katamis ana niya. But I ate also, because it doesn't mean you will never eat sweets anymore. You should only cut off, minimize, not eating that in frequent mode. Or shall we say, overdosage, right? Okay. Do I state it correctly? Overdosage, overconsumption? Okay, something like that. So, wala na siyang may tabi. Ako guys, this is only a confession of experience. When I was in the Philippines a while ago, I'm working in Qatar for 3.6 years. State of Qatar, still the same position as I have as a safety engineer there. Okay. Then when I went back to our country of origin, of course, our family are preparing food that much. We go to the fast food and then like that, eating. I cannot control. I love also ice cream, halo, chocolates, battered chicken, roasted chicken, hamburger, something like Pizza Hut, pizza. But oh my gosh, then I cannot control. And then, body, I'll become 82 kilograms. 82 kilograms. And then I applied for different job opportunities outside our country of origin. So it's gonna be usually Middle East because it's easy to deploy in Middle East rather than to Europe countries and Asian countries, right? Normally. Okay, it's easy. Okay, there's no issue about that. Okay, now I passed everything chuba. Actually from Abu Dhabi and here. Okay, but the one who processed very fast is here. And then Abu Dhabi processed last. But the same position I applied, so I go for the one who processed faster, of course. Okay, now the results show after the physical examination, medical examination, the doctor said to me, "Sir, your liver is becoming fat. Okay, you develop NAFLD. But sir, this is still a symptom. This is not yet a disease. But you should control your intake. of fatty foods or any sugary sources, I say to myself that I'm very, very sad at that moment. Maybe I am very, very, I'm very, very sad. Maybe this is the time when I become, developing a chronic disease. So really, I lose hope. And then maybe there's a very extreme, negative on my mind. Maybe I will die. Something like, really, this is true. Maybe this leads to cancer or tumor in the liver because it's already there in AFLD but not yet a disease, a symptom. If I will not control, what will happen to me? Now, I keep on researching on the social media, on online world, and I subscribe the Harvard University Public School of Health magazine, and I subscribe their online magazine. I keep on reading about their health science, and I there it motivates me. Okay, aside from the the result of the doctors telling me you need to reduce this, blah blah blah, so and so, I still also research a lot what will happen like that. Then I started to do regular exercise. That was 2018. Okay, now, oh my God, what can I do this? I am very fat now. My stomach are very bulge, something like that. So I started to do exercise, 3 times a week when I'm still in the Philippines. Now I apply that until now here for 3 years doing that. Imagine for 3 years doing that, I'm now become 63 to 64 kilograms. How many calories I lost? How many fats I lost? But it doesn't come very quickly. It is for 3 years, almost 3 years. Okay? Imagine if you will just stop doing that, then it will come back again by that. Because it is for the lifestyle, okay, for the age, for the family history, for the genes, for your sex, meaning the gender, that will also matter in developing diseases, according to the doctor, not only purely by eating and drinking, but also genes, family history, susceptibility, how you adapt the certain substances in your body, like that. Okay, that's what we call as human susceptibility for different substances. So, in you, sir, already developed your starting. I'm very, very sad because maybe there's a tumor already developing, really. Okay, because my father died in liver cirrhosis also. Okay, cancer of the liver. When my father reached the age of 62 years old, he died because of liver cirrhosis. Okay, and then it flashed back to my mind. What will be happening because my father is also like having like that? Maybe this is also a hereditary disease or a disease. I cannot. So I must have extra effort to make my liver in good condition again. Now I do a lot of exercise. I cut the carbs. Like until now, I don't have rice intake if as much as I can. Okay, like that. So it's very difficult, but I have to do it because I have already something in the past. Okay? Then also, my coffee has no sugar at all. It tastes bitter, bitter. And my tongue is already immune to that kind of taste. Really. And then if I crave, I will just drink Ali coffee 3 in 1 because I need to have sugar also sometimes. Okay, because it's very, it's very, oh my gosh, it's not good also because the world is filled with sugar. Okay, sugar, sweetened foods are most delicious compared to other tastes, right? You cannot deny that. I cannot also deny that. But I should cut on the and minimize as much as I can with regular exercise. Okay, now my regular exercise will be 3 times a week or 4 times a week. Okay, so really, it's self-discipline, commitment, love and passion, okay, just to be proactive, to have health is wealth and prevention is better than cure. And not only that, I really study and research and have a lot of readings during my day offs about health science. Not enough, right? Even though I am now already a registered chemical engineer, but still I am learning about science information. Because these things also already explained in our first year college, the chemical formulations. But what missing in our chemical engineering are the disease developed. If you will be more on that, less of that, more on that, less of that. And our study is not centering on the human body. Right? Our study is centering on the physical and chemical processes in the plant. Okay, factories like that for the conversion of raw materials into useful products in the application of mathematics, technology, and biotechnology or any chemical engineering related field in a macro scale. Because chemical engineers work usually in a macro scale. Because micro scale usually by the chemists in the laboratory, but macro scale or larger scale for the chemical engineers. They will go outside, check the whole process. That's why most of the process engineers are chemical engineers. Okay, because we or most of us know the process technically. Okay, like that. So in me now, I started to study what's inside the bio part. That's why I need to learn biochemistry. Okay? Before we have the subject biochemical engineering, but centering on the inside the physiological and the anatomy of the body. I come to think, why should I will not study? I want to stay longer in this world. Okay? So I need to prevent diseases to come in. So I have to study more on the substances that I will take every day by day. That is more important than money. I think so. If you agree or not. Right? Even though I have only a low salary, for example, if I am healthy, that will be okay. Right? So it's gonna be like that because money is not the measurement of happiness. As I tell you honestly, it's the people around you or your health and your passion of learning something new that could improve your lifestyle. Ganon. Like this, I developed my YT channel that I can share also academic information to the new generations that needs also understanding of chemistry, physics, or about pure sciences and also health sciences, and a little bit of medical science with my research and readings every Friday and Saturdays in my day off. Because most of the time I will sing in either Friday, Saturday, and sometimes also I cut off singing. It's up to my my daily weekly routine of my day offs. Okay, to be honest with you guys, I prefer not to do overtime. Okay, because I'm doing that for a long time, for 21 years for doing that such thing. I want to relax a bit. Okay? Overtime like that. So I'm tired for that already and I don't like to overtime. Really. Seriously and honestly. Okay? So I've been on that for so many years. Okay? So I would rather stay in my day offs in the room. Okay? So mga sinataho. Going back to the TG. Oh, itaas ang storya sa tuyo. Naman ko na siya history. Ang akong mga discussion is just because of that, my personal experience really. Right? So I'll share it to you guys. Okay? Ganon. Okay. Oh, going back to TG, triglycerides. Guys, in organic chemistry, you need to understand the formulation of functional group first ha. Ito mga aldehyde, ketone, carboxylic acid, ester, ether, amino group, phosphate group, nucleotide, nucleic bases, something like that, so that you can understand properly the biosynthesis of different synthesis inside the body in collaboration and correlation with your physiological chemical reactions, okay, linked to your anatomy structures in your internal body system. And I thank you. Okay. Now, so triglycerides. Okay. What do you want, guys? You will start from the product or will start from the raw material? So, what's gonna be your, convenience? Me, I'm gonna start for the, ano lang talaga siya, raw material or the reactant. Normally, di ba, ganun naman talaga siya. Okay. So, magsugod sa taatong sabtong pag-ayo. Oh my gosh. Guys, glyceride, take note. Glyceride have double band. See? Double band. Ako nagipapas. But glycerol have no double band. Take note. But the same number of carbon atoms and 3 atoms of hydroxyl group. Okay, none. So, neutral glyceride, triglyceride pa siya, no? So it's stated there, based on my research, is 80% of the fat constituent. Okay, if you want to take down also, then you can. 80% of the fats in our body. Okay? Now, the fats that will never be digested or not be broken down into another substances that will remove in our excretory system such as, anus or the anal, the skin, and, the urine. Some will not move, right? It will stuck in your abdominal part here, abdominal stomach part. Okay? And then it will now become your bile fats or visceral fat. Viscerel fat. Due to the accumulation of excess triglycerides, which is 80% above on the normal range, which is equivalent to or approximately equivalent to 150 milligrams per deciliter above. Because less than is still okay. Okay? Ganon. So, sa ano to sa organic chemistry, how can we produce triglycerides? Now, we need to classify triglycerides based on the functional group I mentioned a while ago. Could it be a ketone, an aldehyde, an ester, an ether, so that we can easily understand what process I will be able to put here so that I can come up with a product based on my reactants and raw materials, right? So, it's gonna be like that. Okay, so it's gonna be producing TG and then question mark. What is my raw materials? Okay, now we need to identify TG. Could it be a salt? Okay, or let's say a sugar, a fat. Since we already know that it is a fat, it's very clear, right? So now my question to you, can a fat exist as a salt or not? Because guys, our biochemical substances in our body, sometimes they portray a dual or triple behavior. For example, I have dihydroxyacetone. Dihydroxyacetone in a ketone family is also a sugar based on your ketosis family. Ketohexose group during your ketosis metabolism. Okay, if you do the exercise, gym at work, and these ketosis sugars will be converted. If your glucose unit sugars are already converted already first, and then this will be the last. Okay, so that's why intermittent fasting advised by the doctor is very good because you can utilize your ketosis sugars, which will be born last. After this glucoses, sucroses, fructoses will be born first. Imagine. Okay, that's very clear. Huh? Ketosis, meaning belong to the ketosis hexose family. And this example is the dihydroxyacetone sugar. Or we can say also the D-fructose. Wow. Grabe, okay guys, listen, I want to explain more. The time will not be enough. Really, to be honest. I just don't know because I just keep on researching. Now, this is a habit since I was in high school. I keep on reading like this, and then it accumulate somewhere else, something like that. Okay, and then the motivation for this when I won the chemistry quiz bowl in high school. That's the time I really want to have more. Okay, and then after that, okay, I will just study more chemistry because I love chemistry that much. After becoming the champion in our school, Naga National High School. Okay, public school only. Okay, but not only because in public school there are very, very good also experienced teachers there compared to private. Though the resources is not adequate compared to the private schools, but the teachers are really very veteran and experienced really. Okay, so that was my motivation after that. Oh, I really love chemistry, something like that. Okay, and other science, also physics and biology. It has to do something with memorization and a little bit of mathematics. Okay, now going back for this triglycerides. Okay, now, ang atong question, we need to determine the unknown, which are, it depends on the situation, raw materials or the reactants. Since I know the product is TG, triglycerides, and I have to identify this, what's this all about? Aside from being a fat, what is another behavior of this TG? This is an ester. Okay? Ester. Now, what is the functional group of an ester? So, if you finished and completed your organic chemistry, this is an ester, is the alkyl group bonded with carbon, double band oxygen and another oxygen on the right side, and banded with an apostrophe alkyl group. It's gonna be like that, and you should be smart enough to detect that. Okay? So, that's why I advise you guys, if you're taking chemical engineering now, simulan mo na. Okay? Do a lot of memorization. Okay? Not enough na magsalita kasi classroom instruction. Really? If you really, especially if you really want to pass chemical engineering board examination. Okay? Ganon. So, this is, okay, ester. Wow. Ester. Now, ester is a salt or not? Sugar or not? That's your second question. Because we need to quantify this so that it can fall to the 5 types of chemical reactions in organic chemistry lecture. As you know, there are different types of chemical reactions. First, combination or synthesis reaction. Second type, decomposition reaction, or the breakdown of larger molecules to fewer molecules or lower molecules or smaller molecules, something like that. The reverse of the synthesis or the combination reaction is a decomposition reaction. Third, single replacement reaction, or shall we say single displacement reaction. 4, double displacement reaction or double replacement reaction. Meaning to say, displacement and replacement can be used interchangeably in the technical terminology of these types of chemical reaction. And number 5, combustion reaction for petroleum industry or petrochemicals. If you're working now in a petrochemicals or in a gas company or whatever, this is very applicable. Okay? Like that. And there is one chemical reaction that is very, very special. Without this, we will die. And this is the photosynthesis. Okay? The reverse of combustion. But it is not a crude oil raw material, but the plants. Something like that. And the light coming from the sun. Okay, that's why photosynthesis, because synthesis, I said earlier, combination. Right? The combination of the light energy and the chemicals obtained by the plants, which is specifically the chlorophyll that contains the chloroplast and I. Thank you. Okay. Muna siya. So, nakakaloka. Ay, ang haba nito. Okay. So, ester. So, I could regard directly, dali ratang ko, copy si Gawin. So, ester is also a salt. Okay? But in an organic point of view. Okay? So, ganon. Papas. Oh. Now, hala. Diba? Naatay mga neutralization reaction, hydrolysis reaction. Now, if we try to analyze this, going back again to our chemistry lecture, as I told you, chemistry lectures are prerequisites of organic chemistry. If you will never pass chemistry lectures 1 and 2 4 semesters, you can never take organic chemistry. Okay? Like that. So that's the point. Okay, now, we're going to say hydrolysis. Okay? Hydrolysis and the neutralization reaction. Okay, neutralization reaction. Since I know in the beginning of my discussion, I said neutral glyceride, diba? The word neutral emphasized already that it's gonna be undergoing neutralization reaction. And what is a neutralization reaction in organic point of view? Wow, ganon. So neutralization, ganon. So muna niyo siya. So neutralization reaction. Nakaloka. Okay. Acid plus base is equals to salt and water. Okay. So this is very important in our digestion process in our small intestine and large intestine after the decomposition of these fatty acids in our gallbladder, which is the main function of our bile acids or digestive fluid. And I thank you. Okay. So salt and water. Now, ang TG, asan nito siya? Di ba naman ko ester siya? So, ari diri siya ang ester. So, ari diri ang TG. Okay, product naman siya. Okay, ganun siya. Now, what is our acid here in an organic point of view? This is fatty acid. So, replace that in fatty acid. What I mean is that the concept is still the same but in another point of view. So, fatty acid. Now, what is our base? Hala. Kung sabi niya ang base kasagaran in organic chemistry ends in OH or hydroxyl group. And take note. This is glyceride coming from glycerol, alcohol. So glycerol versus from this is the base here is the glycerol, right? Because we're talking about glycerides. And glycerol are related. That is in alcohol form. And glycerol is in the fat form or can also act as a salt in form, specifically as an ester. So we can say that the process here in terms of organic chemistry, this is esterification reaction, the same principle with neutralization reaction. Okay, the analogy. Okay, like that. Okay, fatty acid plus glycerol is triglycerides plus water here. Okay, now fatty acids a lot. I already discussed a lot, right? Saturated fatty acid, unsaturated fatty acids. Okay, like that. Blah blah blah. Chuba chucho. Okay, pag hingaan kayo ng mga junk foods, okay, meaty, red meat, beef, kabush, like that, chapati, rice, whatever. Okay, so you have a lot of ano na siya, fatty acids. Because carbohydrates will break down also to fats in the biosynthesis inside our body. Related siya. Because CHOs. Okay? Okay, going back. So fatty acids. Okay, then plus glycerol. Then, tinginom kay kag-alcoholic beverages, whiskey, beer, sadiki, or whatever alcoholic content you have now, you practice the daily alatul. Then problem also, you can develop high level of triglycerides. Okay, that's very clear. I'm not a doctor, but I developed this through research and reading and plus my knowledge in my BS chemical engineering profession. Okay, plus water here. Now, let's evaluate and scrutinize one by one. What is the chemical formula? I'm not talking about structural formula because it's very difficult to illustrate the orientation, the arrangement of those elemental H and carbon of the carbon in the carbonyl group. So I have to put the chemical formula lang talaga siya. Okay, for example, if I will consider the stearate, it is associated with fats, I already discussed a while ago. So we have C18H36O2, saturated fats. As I said earlier, coming from the animal fats. Okay? Or animal oils, something like that. Or katokong di pang yung mga fats sugar. Okay. Plus glycerol naman. Hindi po nakaaning formula sa glycerol. So Sotero, what is the formula of glycerol? It's related to glycerides. It's basically the same, but only in an alcohol form. That's why glycerol ends with OL. And glycerides end with DE, which is an aldehyde functional group. Okay? Like that. And then, so there's also glycerine. These three are related. Okay? If we mean of glycerine, that's also tantamount to glycerol. Okay? Like that. So, glycerol. Sa mga itong formula sa glycerol, o ato rin siyang ibungkag kaya para masabtan siya na pag-ayo ang glycerol, right? Okay. Glycerol, 3 carbon atoms. Okay? And then I told you, 3OH. Okay, 3OH. Ganun, chupa-chucho. Okay, 3OH, and then, covalent bonding. Okay, H, H, H. Okay, so this is the glycerol. Take note, guys, glycerol have no double band. So dangerous. As I told you, if there's no double band, it falls to the saturation manner. Saturated. So this is now saturated alcohol. That is not good. Okay, so it can also add and triggers higher level of your triglycerides. Oh. Diba? So, anawin mo siya. I-molecular formula mo guys. So, C3, okay, CHOH, okay. General chemical formula mo sa CHOH, 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 and another H here, and another H also here in the top and the bottom. So, we can say, get the common for this elemental components, just like algebra. The least common denominator, the common denominator, or the greatest common factor in your algebra, just like that principle behind. Okay, now, common, CH and OH. And then count, how many OH is there? Oh, ganun, chupa-chucho. Oh, diba? So, ano din mo siya? Okay, so CH, OH. Okay, CH, OH, CHOH, okay? CHOH, CHOH. So 3 OH. So put OH is equals to 3. Ganon. So carbon. So masabtan yun na to ang ano niya, ang rule. Okay, ganun siya. Now, carbon atoms. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So 3 carbon atoms. So Sotero, what about the hydrogen atoms? We can simply count in the structural formula arrangement. It's very difficult in the general, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 hydrogen. Okay? 8 hydrogen. So, if we make that as a CHO, how can we do that? So, put first CHO. How many carbon? 3. How many hydrogen? 8. How many OH? 3. Okay, so this is basically C3H8 hydroxyl group, close and open parenthesis, times subscript 3. And this is the formula of the glycerol. I did not memorize this since I know the structural formula, we can really write. Okay? Not all the time you will memorize everything, just follow the rule also. Okay? C3H8OH times 3 is equals to triglycerides. What is the formula of triglycerides now? Hala. What is the formula of triglycerides now? So if we try to break that down in a direct manner, because I memorized, later we will just structurize that one. So, para madali pa. So this is C6H8O6 plus water. Hala. Look at all the reaction. Okay? The reaction says stearic acid plus glycerol. Stearic acid plus glycerol is equals to triglyceride plus water. And in the product part, this is hydrolysis. Okay, in this react part is the neutralization. But the whole process in organic point of view, this is esterification reaction, producing ester. So this, therefore, TG, we conclude triglyceride is an ester and can act 80% up as a fat. Okay? Because this is the main constituent fat in our stomach, in our liver, or different organs in our body. Okay. Now, ganun siya, esterification reaction. Okay. Like that. Now, in organic chemistry, if you say esterification reaction, we mean, in the meaning, the product resolve. Since we produce ester, then we call it as an esterification. Ganon. Okay? And then if you produce a product that are too many polymers, that is polymerization. Ganon siya. Okay? If you produce product that contains so many H's, that is hydrogenation. Because referring to the product, unlike in organic chemistry that it doesn't matter, but in organic, your product will be your basis of the name of the process and the chemical reaction. You get the point? Okay, polymerization, okay, like that, esterification, and a whole lot more, hydrogenation, dehydrogenation, alkylation, decarboxylation, and a whole lot more. Okay? Like that. Okay now, nanatani. O, ato na misyon ibalihin. Charot. O, ibalihin na to. Okay. O, atong ibalihin para masabtan ang general formula. So, muna na siya magbuhat na balance chemical reaction. Okay. I-balance pa sa nato ha. To determine how true is correct our organic chemical reaction, which is esterification specifically. So, ganon. C18H36. I have to label this properly, right? So, this is stearic acid. Okay, stearic acid. I will discuss a little bit. Stearic acid comes from stearate. Salt plus hydrogen ion, which is the power positive 1. It will react to become stearic acid. Okay? Like this, stearic acid. Okay, plus glycerol C3H8O3. Okay? You have to put parentheses, guys, because that is more than 2. Okay? In rule in chemistry, for example, if the subscript is more than 2, you have to put close and open parentheses to that functional group. For example, OH, ang subscript niya is 3, meaning 3 times OH in that particular organic compound. And you have to put parenthesis on that. And that is the rule. Okay. Ganon. So equal to the C6H06 is the glyceride, triglycerides. Okay. Plus water. Okay. Like this. And then this is triglycerides, TG. And this is glycerol. Ako lang i-put ang G para madali. G glycerol, TG triglycerol, and water. Okay, ganun siya. Okay, nag-balance na ba siya, guys? Mag-balance at ako ito. Ganyan akong paborito sa chemistry. Balancing chemical reactions before computing the stoichiometric amounts of the particular chemical calculation. And I thank you. Charot! Nakaloka, parating ganun. I thank you. Uy, magtaas ako sa time ticket. Tabian kay ko, guys. Natuwag na ko. Wala akong brain cells. Nakaloka. Diba? Kaya pa sa uy? Okay. Actually, guys, I want to share also to you guys. Anong sana orasa? Uy, 1 hour, 5 minutes. Before going here also, I already passed the other job opportunity that related to safety. Okay, actually that is a chemistry professor in Bahrain. Okay, I already passed that. But you know, very late also processing. Okay, and then, you know, there's a little bit issue of the, you know, the benefit, the package benefits, and then I try to compare, blah, 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 so and so, like that, and then, you know, and here, fast processing, that's why. Okay, actually, before going here, in 2018, there's 3 job opportunities from Bahrain, which is chemistry professor, and the other is also safety engineer from, you know, Abu Dhabi. And the other is here also safety engineer, but the one who processes very fast is here, something like that. So I need to have a little bit of savings. That's why I dive the swimming pool. I grab the opportunity, regardless of whatever. That's the point. Because I will never aim na of mga ganon, high salary. I don't aim that already. Okay? Enough is enough. Okay, ganon. So, the stearic acid and the glycerol plus the triglyceride and the water. Okay, now balance the chemical reaction. Wow, nakakaloka. So, you know, sometimes if you will never know the rule for this, you will use a trial and error method for this in balancing the total number of atoms of the reactant and the total number of atoms in the product. But I will teach you the algebraic expression how to balance the chemical reaction. Okay, guys. Oh, ang dami na nag-message. Okay. Julie Prado, thank you so much for watching. Ay, naku, nakakaloka. Ang dami na tumitingin sa akin ngayon. Oh my gosh. Oh, Arwa po, Julie Prado shares. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, di ba? Ang dami nanood. Hindi ko mababasa kasi mawala yung mga names. Char. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, ha? Thank you so much. Nagme-message kayo ng mga overloaded dyan, and I'm very, very overwhelmed that you are watching for the special health biochemistry live streaming and vlogging. Okay, ganon. So going back to business. Char. Okay. Carbon. And then right side also carbon. Oh. See, in stearic acid, we have 18 atoms of carbon plus 3 atoms of carbon in the glycerol is equal to 21. In the right side, the carbon is 6 atoms from the triglyceride. By the way, class, the triglyceride has an isomer known as, ascorbic acid. Yes. Ascorbic acid is also a triglyceride. Imagine, the triglyceride will act as an acid, which is an ascorbic acid, vitamin C. Di ba? So, Sotero, bakit nakakaloka? Bakit ganun? Vitamin C is good for the health, but triglyceride is not good for the health. That's why it is isomer. Meaning to say, the same only chemical formula, but differs in their functionality, physical properties, and chemical properties, of course, tantamount to the health benefits. They are not the same, right? Triglycerides are a little bit bad, if more of the level above 150 milligrams per deciliter. But ascorbic acid is very good. The more you have high level for that, because that's vitamin C to fight and to kill infectious microorganisms and any pathogens and carcinogenic substances. It will try to be eliminated in your system to maintain good health, like that. Okay, so imagine pareho siyang formula. Okay, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's quickly remember stock knowledge. Okay, let's say ascorbic acid is vitamin C. So we can say ascorbate. Only a few recall. Okay, ascorbate, right? So if you see ascorbate, okay, we have ascorbate sa C6H, 7O6. This is ascorbate, right? We see the power -1. Ascorbate. If it ends in ATE in rule of chemistry, that is also a polyatomic anion and usually a salt. Why an ion class? Because it has a negatively charged particle or -1 at the top of the last element, oxygen. It will normally band and react to the hydrogen ion, which is also +1. So, neutralization reaction. Something like that, right? As I mentioned over again. So, it will become acid. So, now if you put H plus here, the H plus here, guys, is coming from the water we take. Okay? H plus here. Or coming from the H plus that our carbohydrates are synthesizing, or other substances that contains H, because this is a polar molecule of the water, so it will react to the ascorbate. Think not also for the food supplements and multivitamins have ascorbate, okay, because it contains specifically ascorbic acid, right? So if you put plus this H here, what will happen? So it will become C6 7 plus 1 H8 6. So basically, C6H is ascorbic acid. The same formula where triglyceride, imagine. They are isomers with each other. Okay? Compound that have the same molecular formula but differs in the structural formula arrangement and differs also with their chemical and physical properties, and through that differs also to their health benefit. Okay, triglycerides have bad health benefit above 150 milligrams per deciliter, but ascorbic acid, the other form of C6H8O6, is good also. Okay, ganon. Because it will act as an antioxidant inside our body. Okay, and it will trap and kill these bad microorganisms, because our leukocytes and our antigen Y-shaped protein will trap these microorganisms, and there's a lot of microorganisms that will come to your system. And you know that. Usually, it will come for the very, very first time in your respiratory system. Something like that. Okay? So, okay. Klaro kayo nga pareho siya. And if this is the same molecular formula, it's obvious that in examination in the future, they will not give this in a question, because the students will be perplexed, confused, something like that. Oh, why like this? There are two answers here. Can act as an ascorbic acid, can act also what they're gonna do this? To avoid that, so of course the questioners is not like that. Okay, they will modify the question. Okay, they will say, blank is an acid that will produce antioxidant that have the same formula with triglycerides. O, A, B, C, D, ganon. I-modify nila. Okay, ganon siya. Okay, now kung carbon 621 sa right, sa product 6, ganon siya. Uy, grabe sa dami akong discussion. Ilugay kay Mohamed guys. Oy, una akong giingon ninyo. That's why, 5 years are not enough in studying science courses really. Okay? Or let's say, chemical engineering, or if you want to become a scientist, or, a chemist, or whatever. 4 years and 5 years will not be enough if you study the entire, technical perspective with regards to your sciences. Really. Okay? Okay. That's why learning is a continuous process. It will never stop until your last breath. Okay, going back. Nakakaloka. Okay, so carbon 21 and the other carbon is 6 go to the deficient number of atoms in the carbon, so you will go to the product. So how many deficient? It's gonna be 15. 15 plus 6 is equal to 21 to equal that 1. To follow the law of conservation of mass. What's that law all about? That the total mass of the reactant should always equal to the total mass of the product, then it is time independent, obeying the steady state flow and the law of continuity tantamount to the law of conservation of matter. Okay? So basically, law of conservation of matter is also equal to the law of conservation of mass. Okay, so matter can neither be created nor can be destroyed by ordinary chemical means. So only chemical means can destroy and can alter the face of a matter, which are solid, liquid, and gas. Okay, that's very clear. Okay, so no other physical properties that could alter the form and the face of a chemical or a biological substances. It's always chemical means. Oh, ganon. So automatic chemical separation processes sa unit operations. There's a lot, right? I don't have to discuss because that is not our topic. Okay, going back here. Okay. Now, so 21 siya, no, di ba? Oh, okay. What can I do there? This. So, let X as the unknown atom or the number of atoms that you can put to the coefficient of this glycerol to equal to 21. So, therefore, algebraic expression, because this is law of conservation of atom or mass, sorry, equals equilibrium. So, put sign in the middle. So, 21 is equal to, since we have 6 subscript number of moles times the number of atom, which is x, so 6 times x. So therefore, 21 is equals to 6x. So x is equals to 21 divided by 6. And this is your x atom that you will put beside the triglyceride. Ganon. So, butang na natin mo 21 over 6. O, hala, butang. Okay, 21 over 6. Okay, mag-balance na po ka sa hydrogen. Okay? Ganon. Hydrogen, unahan mo o oxygen? It's up to you where to do the balance first. So, for me, I like hydrogen because hydrogen is the lightest element in the universe. And then hydrogen is discovered by Henry Cavendish. And hydrogen has a mass of 6.67 times 10 to the negative 27 kilogram. And hydrogen has a positive 1 number of proton. Ganon. And has a molecular weight of 1.0016 grams per gram atom. Okay. Muna siya. So, ano ko magsugod sa hydrogen? Hydrogen po taani. Tadalat. And hydrogen. Tadalat. Sa left and right. Ganon. So, ang hydrogen sa left, or sa reactant, di ba? Nana siya 36 daan. 36 from the stearic acid, and the hydrogen here from the glycerol is 8. 8 only had, because the parenthesis is from the OH, or there's still H also, kailangan siya H na usa na kuan. Guys, in balancing, guys, don't forget that individual elements ha, not compound group. I forgot also to mention this and emphasize, balancing is individual element, ha, not functional group, like that, blah blah blah, so and so. Okay, so H. So, okay, 3 times 1 is equals to 3. 8 times 1 is equals to 8. So, 8 plus 3 is equals to 11. So, 36 plus 11 is equals to, nakakaloka. So, 47. Here in the product. So, nakakaloka. Okay, 21 divided by 6 ba siya, no? Okay, nakahugaw sa, okay, akong papasong para mo, siya. Charot. Laoy. So, 21 over 6. Okay. Ang atong hydrogen, inihigayon na kay Kuan. 8 times 21, guys. So, 8 is, 168 divided by 6. Pila siya? 168 divided by 6. Okay. And plus 2. And we let the X as the number of atoms besides the hydrogen in the water. Okay, so X times 2. Therefore, 168 divided by 6, guys. Divisible by 6 ba siya? Ang 168. Let's take a look lang siya, ha? Sana divisible siya. Yes, divisible! 28 ay nakakaluka. Okay, so 28 plus 2x. Ano? Okay. Okay, plus 2x. Equate pa rin mo siya sa 47 here. So, 28 plus 2x is equals to 47. 2x is equals to 47 minus 28. X is equals to 47 minus 28 over 2. So, ganun muna na yung x atom beside the water. Pila siya. Siya. Okay, 47 minus 28 is equals to, okay, 19 over 2. O, ganun. Guys, in balancing the equation, guys, you don't have to be afraid with the improper fraction. Okay? Improper and proper. Improper ganun siya, guys. The denominator is higher than, the numerator is higher than the denominator. Such like this. 19 over 2 is an improper fraction. Actually, we need to divide that one, but there's point something. But in the balancing of chemical reaction, we avoid point something. It should be whole number all the time. Okay? Ganon. So put the 19 over 2 here. O, diba? O. Na oxygen ang last. Okay. Nakakaluka. Oxygen ang last. Oxygen sa steric 2. Oxygen here is only 3, right? Oh my gosh, really? Wait. Oxygen 3. Oh, okay. 5 lang siya. Sa product, wala. Oxygen 6 times 2 is 6. 126 divided by 6. Pila na siya. Okay? And then ang oxygen sa here is 19 over 2 na siya. Automatic diyan ko niya. Okay? Ganun siya. Oxygen. Muna siya. Ang deficient, it's in the right side na siya. So just put that into the cherry. Because ang rule, guys, at to let X as a number of atom to the lesser molecular weight. Lesser molecular weight ang glycerol o ang stearate. So maglibog na ka. So magpuha na sa kasi ang molecular weight. So klaro kayo nga ang molecular weight sa stearic acid is higher than the alcohol. Okay? Kaya ano siya 18 doon yung carbon. Right? Ang carbon 3 is 9. In determining, guys, the molecular weight, your basis is the carbon atoms. Okay? Because carbon atoms are very solid, black in color. When you burn these substances, the black residue will appear. So that's an identification that most of the carbon atoms will be the identification that you can say that this substance has higher molecular weight over the other. Okay? Only initial identification most of the times. But if you want really to make sure, do it individually. Okay? But by theory, it will be based in the carbon atoms. But sometimes, we need to make sure. Okay? So that's why. Okay, so in here, let's assume that the stearic acid has high molecular weights. I have to put the X unknown atom to the coefficient of the carbon in the glycerol. So it will become X here. So I will say 2 plus X times 3. X beside the carbon times 3 of the oxygen. So it will become 126 over 6 plus 19 over 2. Nag-undergutag mga improper fraction sa algebra. Okay? So, 3x plus 2 is equals to less common denominator. So, multiply 42, then 42 divided by 6, 7, 7 times 1, 2, 6. Oh my gosh! Improper fraction. Nakakaloka. Diba? 42 divided by 6 laway times 1, 2, 6. Elementary mathematics, mali guys, oy. 882. Ano siya sa elementary na? Grade 3 or grade 4? Okay, 42 divided by, mulugwa lang yapon. Is equal to 7, 7 times 1, 2, 6. Muna siya. And then, 42 divided by 7 is equal to 6, 6 times 19 is equal to, ganun, 114. Taas. 114. Now, we do the crisscross multiplication in algebra. Put an x the direction where to lie. Or multiplying it with both sides so that makancel, so that ang x na lang atong pangitaon. But I really prefer the crisscross multiplication because it's easy for me to, to quantify or simplify the algebraic expression. Okay, it's gonna be 42 times this quantity, whole quantity. So 42 times 3 is equal to 126, right? 6, oh my gosh, 42, wait ha, 6, 126. 126x. Okay, plus 42 times 2 is 4, 2 is equal to 4. 84, right? 84 is equals to 882 plus 144. Oh, pila na siya? Calculator, please. Okay, ganon. So, 882 plus 114 is equals to, di minus siya. Transpose this positive to become negative. Sorry. Sabi is equals to, ganon. 12, divided by 126. Okay, since 9 point something, hindi na ito pugson. Okay, so ano lang siya? 882, i-avoid na ito point something guys. So, is equals to divided by 84. So, ganun siya chuchu. Okay, minus 84 is equals to divided by 126. Muna na siya. Okay. So, ano lang siya? 126. Muna itong x. And then 882 plus 114 is equals to minus 84 is equals to 9112. So, ato na ni siyang i-simplify na ma-divide siya sa 6. Divided by 6, pila siya? 152. Okay, ang 126 ma-divide ba sa 6? Charot. Okay, 126 divided by 6. Okay, 21. Ma-divide ba na sa 7 ang 152? 152 divided by 7. Dili. Oh, 152 divided by 3. 152 divided by 3. Dili. So, ano na sa 152 over 21 ang x? Ibutan mo sa kilid sa aton, glycerol. Nakakaluka. 152 over... Ay, yung kadlok ano yung number fraction eh? Kakaloka na. Diba? So, muna na siya. Rewrite that completely in another set of balancing. Complicated balancing muna siya guys. Organic magod. So, C18, H36, O2 plus 152 ba na siya? 152 over 21, no? Glycerol. Nakakaloka. Ang dami. Hay? Nakakalula. Is equals to 21 over 6 triglycerides, C6H8O6 plus 19 over 2 water. Now, if you have like this improper fraction, the rule in algebra, multiply both sides to the common denominator of that fraction or improper fraction. So, sabi pinaka-common na niya, chuba-chuchu. Okay, so, imo siya multiply of 21 para makancel. Okay? Pero ang mabili na niya, chuba-chucho. Okay? Ganan. Diba? Oo, ganun siya talaga. Okay, so cancel. Ganan. So 21, C18, H36, O2, plus 152 glycerol. C3H8O3, 3 is equals to, okay, so 21 plus 21, wait, pila man dyan siya. Chart. Okay, 21 times, okay, 21 is equals to 441. Okay, 441 divided by 6. 441, okay, is 21 over 6 pa siya. 441 over 6. Then 19 times 21, nakakaloka. So 19 times, okay, 21 is equals to 399 over 2 lang. Sure pa? 19 times 21. Nakakaloka. So 399. 399 over 2. 399 over 2 H2O. Wow. O diba? Ang sasaya special. Okay, now, napagod siya mga ingani chuba-chuchu. Okay? Sa C6H8O. O diba? Oh. So mag-list ka mo denominator ka. Okay? 3 so 12. O 6. So 441. Yung itungtong diri ang glycerides. Nakakalok itungtong talaga. Okay, 3 to sa so, ganon. Itungtong ni mo no, di ba? Okay, so pwede rin yung bukod. Depende rin mo guys. Okay, again, ang actually denominator, again, multiply na sa machine mo sa, let's say, 6. Oh, so 6. So this is 626 stearic acid. Kakaloka. Diba? Plus, 6 is what? 150 times 6 guys, pila. Kapoy gamit calculator. Okay, 12. Okay, it's 3031. 6 plus 3, 912. Wow, ang dami ng glycerol. Nakakalula yung glycerol. Umutambo kita ni pag-ayot eh. Tagas na ito glycerol ba? Okay? So, cancel. So, 441 C6H8O6. Madaot itong liver ani. Char! Okay, 6 divided by 2 is 3, di ba? Ganun, 3 times 6 guys, pila siya? 3 times 6 divided by, ano siya? 2, pila siya? 1,127 plus 1,127. Kasi siya, water. Hala. Okay. Pag-ask kayo siya, guys, 126 atoms of glycerol plus 126 of stearic acid, 2 atoms of, glycerol is equals to 441 of, C6H8O6 and 127 of H2O. Now, kung gusto ka nimong ano mo siya, i-divide pa rin mo siya o mga less common denominator, pwede ba siya? So, ang 441, imo siya i-divide by 3. Para mo, simplify lang siya guys ba? Paano na siyang rule? Di ba? O 3, no? So, 1 divided by 3, pwede ba siya? Okay, divided by. Until such time, hold siya, di ba? Ano bang technique guys? Okay, so 126 divided by 3. Ano dyan ang technique sa una pa na? Okay, 42. Oh, lang, di ka siya. Divisible by 3 lahat. Kakaloka. On the spot. Uy! I love this. Okay, 126 kung mga balancing. Charot! Charot lang eh. So 42. Muna na siya 42. Simplify pa man dyan na nato guys. Ano man dyan na? Okay, 42 is stearic acid. H36O2. It looks like it's correct because perfect kayo siya sa mga divisible. Okay, 912 divided by 3, di ba? 304. Nakakaloka. I will just put glycerol na G. Kapit sa chemical formula sila. Be patient, June. Okay, anak yun na. Kung love nila mga chemicals, mo dyan isuwat. Charot! Okay, 441 divided by 3. Okay, guys. Hala, 147. 147 triglycerides. I will put kg ha. Pagdali na ba? Then plus 117 divided by 3. Kung i-divide mo tanan sa common denominator and less common denominator, all compound will be divided ha. From left to right. Or 399. 399 water. Kaning 399 ma-divide ba ni siya into something? Let's check. Into something daw. Okay, 42. Let's try 11 up. Di pwede ang pangan. So, 399, let's say, divide siya divide by 9, no? Try makaani basta mga less common denominator. Okay. So, 399 divided by 3. Pwede kayo. 7 divided by 3. Uy! Pwede sa siya, no? Divided by 3. Wala, delete yun. May point something ang kilig. So, 42 divided by 3. 304 divided by 3. Okay? Hindi mo siya pwede ang 304. 9 point something. Nag-give siya. Okay? 42 moles of stearic plus 4 of glycerol plus 147 of triglycerides plus 399H2O. Na-i-balance na siya tagsa-tagsa kung equal mo din yung carbon dira-ara. Okay? Mama na siya imubutan sa 147, diba? So 147 carbon na ganun. Chupa-chucho, diba? 147 carbon 6H8O6. Yung carbon dira-ara, i-times na yung carbon sa 147 times 6, okay? Para mo balance ba siya. Okay? 147 times 6 pila siya. Ganoon. Butangan din mo 882 ang carbon sa pikas. Pila yung carbon dira-ara sa pikas pool. Okay, imo dyan na siyang ikuan guys. Adyo ka hadlock mo dyan na siyang char. Okay, 304 times 3 is equals to imong pa na siya 42 is equals to ganan. Okay, so ganan siya 42 plus 304 Ganun siya. So it will become, okay, 304, okay, 3 lang siya, di ba? Times 3, di ba? Carbon 3 reaction. With 3 times 304 is equals to 912 plus 42 is equals to 954 carbon. 954. Ganon. Ganon. Like this. Ang imong hydrogen, 36 times 42 plus 8 times 3 times 204 and 1,107 times 2. So in this manner, guys, you can observe that it's already divisible by 2. You could expect that this will be balanced already. But it looks like very complicated. You know why? You know why? Because this is the story behind organic chemistry as I read also in the past. Okay? It's not easy to balance the organic chemical reaction compared to the inorganic because these organic guys have, as I said earlier, dual characteristics, triple characteristics and properties, and it will oriented or rotating, arranging the structural during chemical reaction. So for example, if I have D-glucose, I have also L-glucose. If I have D-fructose, I have also L-fructose. If I have alpha D-glucose, I have also beta D-glucose. Something like that. The orientation matters a lot. Okay, so that's why it's not easy to balance the chemical reaction. Ako lang yung dipurbahan, ako nitugan mo din. Just to have the rule in chemical reaction. Now, fair enough, because of the theory, importante man ang theory guys, it's not important pa ng mga mga number, di ba? Okay? Unless mag-chemical calculation ka. But this is not more on the calculation. This is health biochemistry. So it's not our concern to be quantifiable in terms of numbers. Okay? And then, logically, it's also okay because we try to balance. Okay naman siya, ka-divisible naman siya by a certain number of atoms, right? What I mean, wala na ko kitiwas, kay tag-as naman dyan kayo siya o number of moles sa kilid-kilid. Okay, so atong i-break down. Diba? Ningon lang ko nga, so to guys, kaya na pa may oras guys. Ningon lang ko muna, citric acid. Ningon ko glycerol. Unahan na to ang glycerol, kay glycerol is a polar, kung pag-structural formula na lang ta para daog. Kilisod kayo ang mag-chemical reaction ta, kay complicated magod kayo, kay long chain, carbon and hydrogen magod siya guys, long chain. You know, fatty acids, di ba? It's unusual to... Ako lang siya try in curiosity, but when I was in college, there's no such like that also like this. I just try it out so that showing you that even though this is an organic chemical reaction, we still need to follow the balancing chemical reaction. In which it is true, but it undergoes too much number of moles and number of atoms, in which that is not our major concern. Okay, ganon. So, ato siya i-bungkab or what we call this one guys? Structural chemical orientation. Okay, let's say, una na to ang glycerol, kay polar man siya. Okay, balik ko na to. 1, 2, 3. Tadadat, tadadat, tadadat. Okay, tadadat. Remember, there's a double band, ha? Tadadat, 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 tadadat. 3 OH. Tadadat, 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 tadadat. Oh wow, bongga. Okay, the tri there, guys, is an indication of the hydroxyl ang dinin diha ara sa tri. Kaya tuluman ka OH na. 1, 2, 3. That's all. Tri. Okay, ganun siya. Mara sa glycerol. Okay, kay OH man siya na ara. Na kay tri man ang triglycerides, mo connect siya diri ari. Okay? So, this is a glycerol naman siya. So, plus. Ang kanina mga OH diri ari, di ba rin polar, mo react na siya sa acid. Kay OH naman daan. So, OH plus H, it will become water. In which product ang water? Sa esterification reaction, which is correct. Okay, if this is the glycerol, atong butangan common name para di ka maglilog sa glycerol. Okay, so meaning kay usa naman gyud siya ka glycerol, so one component of glycerol, so one glycerol. So in organic chemistry, you don't have to specify that it's a mole. Ano naman siya? One component of glycerol, one constituent of glycerol, one part of glycerol, like this, or one molecule of glycerol. Di ka magamit ang mole sa kilid-kilid. If you speak about the general na glycerol. Okay? Unless yung i-break down sa chemical formula, gamitan na namin yung mole. Okay? 2 moles of glycerol, 3 moles of, but if general term, isuwat na nyo ang words like this, glycerol, no need. Yung na nga, 1 glycerol, because 1 component of glycerol only is in there. Okay? Just to emphasize, okay? Like that, plus, kay tulungan niya siya mong i-plus ang sa OH, 1, 2, 3, so 3. Yung imong i-attach din ha, fatty acid by that. So, 3 components of fatty acids. So, isuwat sa nimo ang word, 3 fatty acids. Okay, para masabtan. Yung atong nila siyang reactan o mga acid-acid, chuba-chucho. Yung atong igamit sa cherry, baya to. Okay? Na, unsa naman sa ito formula sa cherry, di ba na ito na OH, na carboxyl ito sa kilid-kilid. Ayaw ito gamita ang carboxyl ito sa kilid. Kaya di man mo rin ang OH to OH. Don't tell me OH raised to the power 2. Okay? Di ba na siya pwede. Ato siya sa H corner sa fatty acids na H ang tumoy. So, muli ang H mo mo naman. Hindi mo na siyang water. Mo jump siya dito sa product. Hindi mo siyang water. Nakakuha mo. Ika-add mo sa H sa fatty acid here. Water. Add tuloy na mo sa product mo. Resulta ang H2O. Nawa siya dito. Okay? Mo na siya esterification reaction. Di ba sa yan, Ra? Okay, naman kayo OH din yan. H, ikuha naman sa fatty acid. So, mo ang water mo ito dito. Yan, imong product, triglycerides. Okay, later on, ato ibutang ang triglycerides dali. Ato sa i-show. Okay, ganon. So, fatty acid, so plus fatty acid. Okay, plus fatty acid, plus fatty acid. Ato lang i-general ha. Later, ato i-specific. Okay, fatty acid. Okay, mana. So, 1 fatty acid, 3 fatty acids is in here. General, 1 glycerol, meron siya. Ato nang butangan ng specific formula para makakuha dito exact formula of the triglycerides. O ganon. So, di ba, yung cherry, pila may kapakarbon ato na cherry? Uy, wala na yun. Okay, so di ba, yung cherry acid, C18H36O2. Now, ato ka mukuha sa hydrogen na ito nga. But lisod man kayo siya guys, kung general chemical formula mong gamitin, hindi mo sana siya structurized or structural ang kaning cherry. Katong number ka sa carbon. Kapoy lagi ka siyang organic. Uy, pero sige lang kay ato yung masabtan ba namin yung anak. So 18 ka carbon. So 1, akong gamay yun ha. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 ka carbon, di ba sa tumoy kay may COH, double bond OH. Ayaw ni siya gamita ha. Ang corner nga, carboxyl group. Ato ka sa tumoy nga na H. Okay? So this is the polarity corner of the fat. Polarity corner na mo-react sa OH with sa glycerol. So OH plus is equal to water na siya. In the water na niya, the water will go to the product here. Okay, the same as in the second fatty acid also. It will become a water here. A water here. Ganon. So this is expected also that there are 3 water there. Okay? Because there are 3 fatty acids being added. So kung may tapo na higayuna, so nawala na siya. Diba? Kaya naman ka ng H. So ang metabuan niya, diba ang ester anak ng sa functional group, R, O, double band, O. Diba? And then nakay isa ka oxygen diri ari. So R, o ganon. Lawa na siya. So Sotero, yes, yan na siya. So kani siya, listot mo na siya ng R diri ari. Okay? Ginawa, tantang naman na siya dira ara. So ang sayang buhaton niya lang higayong na. Muna sana siyang i-rotate. Diba? I-rotate na niyo ang kaning carboxyl diri ari. I-rotate ang habilin niya ara. Guys, mawala na siyang O diri ari. Ang R diri ari, ang oxygen nila yung habilin. Okay, that's the point. So, ano na mo siya pag kitabo. So, ano na siya isa pag H, C, H. Ang may tabuan niya, ano na siya oxygen. Okay, ganun siya oxygen and then hydrogen here. Okay, ganon. Connect nila siya diri ang C. Diretso na. Diba? Connect siya. Kaya naman kay H, connect niya sa mong O. So, ang may tabuan na siya matabo sa oxygen. Oh, ganon. So, naman kayo double bond oxygen. Yun na, dili. So, O, ganon. O, di ba? So, ano yung imong kuan, imong ester. Muna kita mo itong ester linkage. Kani siya diri nga part. Okay? So, maana na siya. Si oxygen, double bond oxygen, okay? Ganon siya. Dili ang diri ha. Dili kay wa man siya hydrogen dili ari OH na baya. Kung ang OH duha di man siya pwede mo react ang OH to OH adto jud ka sa H corner. Okay? Ana man to ang esters R, oxygen, then another oxygen here, and then R. Ganon. So, mawala na siya diri ari, muna siya mao na lang na siya diri ara. Ganon. Nakakuha mo? Muna napagyan ko siya double band. Pero, nawala na ang usa ka oxygen gikaon man siya sa OH ug sa H kina-water na good siya. Okay? Ganun mo na, nabilin ka na siya usa ka O. Char. O, di ba? Okay? So, muna na siya nagtamo sa atong i-rearrange ha. O, ganun. So, ato na yung tagtamong siya dari-ari. Ato na i-connect ang facts. Kaloka. Okay, muna na siya dari-ari. Muna na siya guys nga O. Okay? Then, sumpot na siya dari-ari. Diretso na sa carbon sa fatty acids. O, ganon. Okay, kay ester linkage ba siya? O, ganon, tadadat. O, ganon. O, tadadat. Muna siya, tulo na siya. Yung esters na naman kay double band oxygen. Okay, butangan na yung double band. Okay? Okay, ganon. Diba? Okay, anak man siya. Naman yun na siya, carbon na double band. Since ganon siya, matagak na siya, O na lang yung mahabilin na nangyara. Okay? Ganon. You get the point? Ganon siya. Kung nakay RR or double band, yung ganon, C, mawala yung C, mo na siya mahuhin mo siya yung anak. Okay? Kaya nawagtang naman yung OH mo, react ba dito. Okay, ana ra siya guys. Diba? Oo, ana ra siya. Tiyan. Okay? Ana ra siya. O, oxygen. O, ganon o. O, diba? O. Okay, ano ba siya? 1, 2, 3, 4. O, diba? Nakuha ninyo ay double band. Okay. Atong itarong Hugaw kayo akong representation. Sige lang, masaktan lang yun nato ang atong purpose nga nangigayon na. Okay. Diba? Ester, ano na siya? Tudurut. O. R. Kani siya, si HCR na siya, diba? Double band. Oxygen, another oxygen here. Kani siya, R, sabi siya, dire-are. O. Ganon. O niya, kailangan ito oxygen na mawala na lang siyang ordinary. Dito na siya sa oxygen. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, that is, ano siya, polar siya. Hindi mo na siyang polar ang oxygen sa glycerol. Okay, polar na siya. Kanandaan per share of electrons. Ganon. Okay? Hindi mo pwede ang usa. Di ba? Ang kalibre-ari naman. Ano na siya? COOH. Okay? Kani siya, OH. Naman kadiri-ari. Diri na kay OH diri-ari. Di man pwede ang OH ng OH. Si ibutang tala kung H lang siya. Na naman bilin na O. Di ba? Kani siya mahabilin na. Ano? Naka C, double band, O, ganon, chuba-chucho. And then ganon. Ganon. And then here, ganon. Ganon. So, ibalitok ni mo. Orient niyo balik. So, I think possible siya. Kaya naman siya. Basta naman siya H, guys. I-react naman sa OH. Possible mo siya. OH plus H. Water siya. H2O. I think you can use the both. Naglisod ko per mirror because there's a double band. You can use both the corner of this one and the corner of that functional group. Okay? Pwede siya. Okay? Ito na ba good, oh? Diba? May OH dire-ari, negative 1. So, connect mo na siya sa positive. Okay, negative ba siya? Okay now. Ang kaming OH diri, okay, kuha man siya, negative, positive mo yung react. Pwede mo yung makawato ng usa ka H diri sa OH. Para i-react nimo sa OH para mahimong water. Pagkawat nimo sa H sa OH, of course, ang kaning H sa OH is positive na siya. So, H positive plus OH negative diri sa tumoy sa imong glycerol, muna mo react siya. Okay? So, HOS, maaari diri ang water. Pwede sad siya. Okay? There are two ways, but the most good way is, I think, the functional group because there's a double bond of oxygen. Yung ganun chupa-chucho, di ba? Ganun siya may tabo. So nawala na ang imong carbon. Okay, nawala yung carbon. Okay? Ano nawala yung carbon sa Sotero? Okay? Siyempre, di ko alam kawat mo sa pikas. Nawala na siya. Okay, kung may parent carbon dioxide sa pikas. Okay? You got the point? Makuha naman mo siya kasi tagsaon na ginin mo, guys. Okay? O hinahinayon ninyo para di maglibog. Paspas magugay ko mo discuss, no? Okay? Paspas ra ko. Gibalik ko na ko, be. Para dili mo maglibog. Char! Last na lang ni ha. Di ba ang extra ana siya, guys? R, carbon bond double oxygen na siya ana dari-ari. Okay na siya. O gihapon siya, but the IR. Take note, guys. Take note yung pag-ayo. Okay? Ang kalimang mong R dari-ari na mong ipuno, mumugunin siya fatty acids. Okay? Fatty acids. Okay? So, meaning to say, kani siya CH3. Diba? H para na ana. Sumpot ito yung waitan. Tadadat 18. Isumpot lang ni mo dari-ari. Yung di ka, oxygen, carbon, and then the glycerol AH. Nakibawa mong kakatoy mong glycerol, naman to siya yung H. Okay? Ang OH ato niya ari, connect dari ari para may mong water. Okay? So H. Ganon. And then, mutagap ito mahal sa product dari ari. Okay? Ganon siya. Kaya esters magbubi siya. Kani siya mga forms of oxygen, carbon, R niya. Naman kayo OH diri. Okay? OH diri ari. Ganon. So, ano siya, makunik din siya dira-ara. Okay? Ma-replace ang OH ba ani nga kuan? Ani nga functional group. Nag-connect mo sa fatty acid. Ganon. So, nag-connect mo ano na siya? C, H, ano na siya? C, double bond, oxygen, O, and then so ni-satisfy na siya sa iyang R functional group na R, C, double bond, oxygen, O, R, and then second fatty acids mo nagyapon, mo na siya pero niya makita nimo kay ester linkage man. Okay? This is very clear ha. Ester linkage na. Dito sa pikas ang H na okay, niingon ko ang guys na no, tapos ang H ito naman guys, di ba mo makita ang ester linkage? Mo akong gi-after linkage charot sa functional group. Mo na akong yung sa theory ganito. Attention din mo na kay mga options mga atong ibalito nga bitaw, basta nakasabot bitaw ka. Okay, kay duha man yung choices. End-to-end corner, anak naman na siya. Ang imong end corner, kaya naman kay functional group dito. Sa pikas nasa ka. Sa imong banabanakon ba asa dito siya yung react. Kay OH baya. Oo. Di ba OH negative. So react na siya sa positive. Okay? Muna siya natabo. Char! Ari ka mo kuha sa OH sa iyang kuan. Sa iyang carboxylic group. Okay? Ang H gikan sa OH, ang gamito niya sa OH sa glycerol. Okay? Kaya kanang OH mo, break pa maguna siya O and H. Got the point? And ang H positive, ang O negative 2, ang charge ba sa oxygen negative 2. Mawala na siya, kaya react na siya sa H. Okay? Ay uban siya sa pikas ng carbon. Diba? Ano siya, diba? OH. Ang H dira supposedly is positive 1. Nya, ana, positive 1. Kana siya negative 2. Bayan na siya. Saan mo positive 1 na siya sa okay? Hindi ako sa other negative na ara. Ikaw, ano mo, makansel mo negative 1. Negative 1 na siya. So, positive, negative 1 plus 1 is equals to 0. Ganon. Itong role sa charges, diba, chuchu, diba? Nakalimot mo? Okay, balik ko na to. OH, negative, o tagsa-tagsaon mo. So, pila man ang oxygen, negative 2, o gaganan. Okay, 1, positive 1, ganon. So, na siya charge ang OH is positive 1. Okay? Muna siya na positive 1 siya. Okay? Negative 2, ano siya, is equals to positive 1. Negative 1 equals to 1 muna siya. 1, positive 1 ang H lagi. Okay? Okay, may bumang ka, plus ang OH, mabungkag din na siya, mabungkag mo din na siya, guys. Okay? Okay, compose mo na siya of oxygen and hydrogen, but charges lang siya na form. But, dili niyo pwedeng ibutang sa chemical reaction, ano, anak ka nga, OH is equal to oxygen gas plus H2 gas. Dili na mo mahimo, kaya kani siya charges naman niya siya nga pag-break nimo, individual charges ba? Okay? Dili na siya pwede anin. Ang pwede anin niyang O2 is to ang water. Is equals to O2 plus H2 sa balance chemical reaction, pwede na siya. But kung kaning OH, ibungkag mo ng O2 is dili pwede, kaya kuha man siya hydroxyl group, kung imo na siya i-break as per charges ba? Okay? Na H plus, na O, na negative 2, ganon. Ito pa, itong ikuha ang H na niya nga positive. Nag-react dito sa OH sa glycerol. Di ba klaro? Di ba klaro kayo? Ano lang? O di ba? Mo tuwing ko pwede sa pikas ko, kinamang kay H dito nga dito sa way labad sa ulo. Ako siyang gi-consider first kay di mo. Ato man ka sa dali, di ba? Normally, ato ka sa dali di mo ma-connect or ma-combine or ma-react. Alangan mag-lisod di mo mong self. Ato dito ka sa carboxyl group, nabuti madugol pa dito ato. Oh, okay? So ato dito ka sa corner nga marag. Okay. Muna ni kuha ko sa second option. Kaya nga no, di man mo show ang ester linkage ng functional group kung akong i-direct ang H sa other corner sa fats. Okay? Sa saturated fatty acids, sa stearic acid. Ako din ipagtagpaagi, ako siyang gi-rotate. Ganon. Di ba kay orientation mali siya sa structural formula. Katuyok ni mo, react na yun. Ang carboxyl group o ang OH na katong kuan. Kaya remember guys, ang COH manggod guys, acid manggod na siya. Carboxylic acid group. So, ang acid mo, react mo muna sa OH. Kaya nasa mo muna ang Fury. Okay? Most niya ang I think this is pinakabukat nga reason. If we have OH negative, it will react to acid. OH is base, right? Hydroxyl. So, base plus acid, right? To produce salt and water. So, ang kani siyang OH, react mo na siya sa acid, which is carboxylic acid. Functional group. So, ato ni mo siya i-react dito. Okay? Dili di ay ang katong usa ka corner kay wa man dito ang functional group nga naidubulpan na identification nimo sa ester linkage. Ana na lang. Okay? Theory din siya. Dili mo ana basta makamaw ka sa theory mahibalan jud nimo ba. So imo siya ituyok. I-orient din mo ikabalito ato niya. Ito ang isa pikas food. Okay, ganon na. Combine na din siya. Muna na yung triglycerides. Ato na lang i-summarize ang formula sa triglycerides. Ana na siya guys. Muna na siya. Okay, tadadat, ganun. Double band here, ganun. So, ano ba yun siya? Oxygen, ganun, chupa-chucho. So, oxygen, ganun. Okay, hydrogen, oxygen, ganun. So, hydrogen, ganun. O, di ba? Oxygen, ganun. Okay, and then, hydrogen and hydrogen, ganun. Okay? And then, nakaisa ka H diri ari, tadadat. Ganon. So, nasa kay carbon, oxygen diri ari. Carbon, double bond oxygen and H diri ari. Ganon. Kaya naman kay carbon. Okay, ganon siya. And then, since naka oxygen diri ari, okay, naka oxygen diri ari, okay, nasa kay oxygen diri ari. Ang imong technique guys, no, ang imong i-double bond, no, ang oxygen dili ang hydrogen. Tingnan, no. Tingnan ang hydrogen, usara man siya ka proton. Dili niyo mo pwede banded o double band. Muna nga, makuha dito mo na yung kumasayop ka o kung ani. Diba? Nag-double band ka din. Ayaw, ang H, dito ka, dito per me. Muna ipasok mo sa brain cells para mabagay-bagay siya ba? Pag ako, ano din na siya no? Ganun, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ganun, oxygen na. Atro na siya sa double band ng oxygen per me. Diba? So, in that way, perfect. Mabalas lang din mo mga kwan. Samahan niyo, okay? Ang akong gimemorize, tulo naman ka carbon. Kibaw man ko nga, triglycerides na siya try. Ako din, tulo. 1, 2, 3. Gano'n. Kibaw man ko nga ito mo react sa OH. So, ato dito sa double band sa tulo. Now, 1. Double band, 1. Kani siya ko sa number 1 nga double band. Mano siyang first fatty acid atong react sa OH sa atong primerong representation. Ang kanyang kaduha, here, mo sa dili ang fatty acid nga imong gi-react. Ang number 3, double bond sa fatty acid. Mo na siya ang formula gid sa triglycerides. Now, Sir Sotero, daghan man kayo siya carbon. O, lagi daghan kayo siya carbon. So, ato ni mo iban sa H. Di ba? So, ang H, iban di mo sa carbon gari ari. Ang itin sa kabuok, i-connect mo sa H. Okay? Nakakuha mo. Okay, di ba, ana man kadari ari, o. Naman kayo ba ng oxygen diri ari, o. O, 1, 2, 3. Usa man ang hydrogen, guys. Usa lang kabuk ang hydrogen. So ato nimo ipuno dito ato. Diri ari na pud siya makuan. Kay ato man nimo sa ipuno nimo sa kaana man siya, o C double bond oxygen and R and then OR. O ganon. So asa man imong R dira ara, o. Oxygen mo ni siya, o double bond ang oxygen diri. Tararat. O oxygen mo ni siya, oxygen mo ni siya tararat. Okay. So ang kaning H o sa ka H diri ari, mo ni siya o sa ka R. So ari nimo ipuno diri sa H. Sumpot nimo bari sa tulo ka corner. Ana siya. Okay, ang sa H mo imong kuan katong H. Okay? Or tama ba? H, dili siya. Sayop, sorry. By theory man gud siya H. Base of acid nakalimot ko kuno karon ako i-correct siya diretso. Kay H man na siya ang OH. Ari siya sa O, not sa H, sorry. So ari siya sa O mo connect ang katong kuan. Ang katong last na carbonyl nga H sa fatty acid. Dili sorry ha. Dili siya dito. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So, ganun ang imong himada. So, nakakanay, kaya ano siya? C. O. R. Double bond oxygen. O, nakuha din mo usang oxygen. Diri ari nga double bond. Di ba? Kani siya, muna siya diri ari. O. Oxygen. Nasa kay carbon, ang diri nga usang diri ari. So, R. Muna siya yung R diri. Nasa kay H. Muna siya. Ato siya sa O. Imo i-connect. Okay? I-connect mo sa O ang imong katong H dito sa kuan. Pero himo siyang OH dito sa ari na kuan. Tulok ako ng 1, 2, 3. Ganon. Nganong may hunong kuan ni guys? Nganong man? Kaya mo ko'y carbon diri ari. Di ba? 1, 2, 3, 4. Na-complete na nung ang carbon. Di ba? Hydrogen o saraman ka kuan. Sometimes, imo siyang unaon guys. Kung naroon ka sa permiro, imo siyang parang, ay, dali na kayo mo mahibawaan mga nasayop ka kay ngano, nakabawang magkapila ka valence electrons. Okay? Muna siya guys, ang reason po guys, no, nga ang kanin siya na type of representation will never come out in the board examination also. Because you know, you have to draw a lot ang computer sa, ang encoding sa computer, lisod kayo ni buhaton sa test question. You get the point? Kani may nga rotation, posible kini sa kuan K-pad, gabuhat sa questionnaire ba? Diba? Lisod kayo siya ulit-ulit. So, ang may tabuan ni sa board examination, anaon na siya dito. So, so, glycerol plus, i-word rin siya, i-word. Example, how many fatty acids will react to glycerol to produce triglycerides? A, 3, B, 2, C, 3, D, 4, E. Ano na mga questions sa board exam? Why? Kalisod kayo siya ibuhat sa kuwan. Ay, sa A, B, C, D. Kalisod, kataas, ano yung ibutang dito sa choices? Ano ba? Big siya for me, or for us, or para sa mga PRC, di nila buhaton. Okay, tag-as mo kayong organic, guys. Ang importante masabtan ra gyud nimo ba ang iyang main point. Ika-add mo glycerol na tulo ka fatty acids. So answer mo 3 fatty acids. Baliw na siya. Question number 2, physical and chemical principles, day 2 coverage, chemical engineers licensure examination. Question number 1, how many glycerol will react to fatty acid to produce triglyceride and water? Ganon. So 1 ang answer, 1 glycerol. Ang chances course mga number A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, E, none of the above. Or anaon nila, asbun baro nila, anaon nila. What will be the product will be produced if we add glycerol, okay, and fatty acid? What will be the product? Ano dito? A, water and cholesterol. B, water and protein. D, alcohol and let's say nucleic acid. E, water and triglyceride. Ang answer will be water and triglyceride. Kaya mo na siya product sa glycerol and 3 fatty acids. Yung anaon na siya pag-question na sa board exam. Dili siya ngayon na tag-as kayo. Kay lisod mo kayo na pag-encode sa computer ang mahingani nga Doon ano yung kayo, kanang labi na may cyclic structure sa organic. What good siya guys? Sure. What is siya? I-word ready siya guys. Diba? Anak siya. Wow. Basta organic chemistry na topic. Or other mga topics na dili siya mag-undergo mga structural orientation. Ang purpose lang ano ba para makasabot ka. More na siya. Nag-react siya dito, mutuyok siya dito, anak. Oh, di ba? Pero yung sa rasa ko, matug na ko eh. Grabe, di ko kakuan. Char! Nakakaloka. Oh, di ba? Last topic guys, ang kuan, ang glucose. Tepa sa Okay, thank you so much for watching. You can comment down below the comment section. Thank you. Sorry kayo nga lengthy kayo siya guys because I could explain yun ako pag ayo. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye, God bless everybody. You can click the notification bell for some news updates of Yana Singer, HNL Voice, and you can comment down below in the comment section whether it is bad or not, it's accepted. Wow. Okay, thank you so much for watching guys. For staying tuned with my live streaming and vlogging. Daghang salamat. Bye bye, God bless everybody. Napakoy sugar.